What is up, traders? My name is Heath, and this is Trade Talk. In tonight's video, we're going to do a trade recap. We're going to take a look at the trade I took today on pound dollar. We're also going to do a recap on pound Aussie, the trade I took earlier on into the week, as I am still short that pair. And we will also go over euro yen. So please stay tuned. What's up, everybody? All right, I got gold on here. I didn't mention that in the intro. That's okay though. We're gonna take a look at it real quick. As you can see, we did break out of that descending trend line that we had on from Sunday's Forex Weekly Outlook. You can see that we have broke through all the relevant market structures that I was looking at, which is okay because I said if you did get an 8-hour closure below this level here at 1922.74, look for this trend line to come into play, or this market structure level there at 1902.85. And you can see that we have tested that beautifully. Now, if we go back down into an 8-hour chart, you can see that this market structure here at 1907.64, let's change that back to white real quick. All right, so 1907.64, you can see that this area or this market structure is currently holding support. So as long as this area is holding support, I do expect this to pull up out of this area. Now, with that being said, you can see a spike down below this low here for a liquidity purge. If that happens, you definitely want to see an hourly closure back above 1907.640, because if it does not, then it just simply wasn't a liquidity purge. Somebody selling it. So yeah, if you get that spike down and it closed back above, that would probably be a safe entry for a long. This is not financial advice. All right, so moving on, pound Aussie. I was looking for this to head lower. Now, currently, it is still heading lower. We were targeting this low, okay? And when I took the trade, I took off 2/3 of my position and left 1/3 of the position size on to ultimately target this low, because the day that I took the trade, I was only looking to target that daily low. However, that took place. I moved my stop to break even, and I am still short this pair, and we have hit my target for the week. All right. Now, we hit this yesterday, but yesterday cryptos were going just bananas, so I didn't want to discuss this trade in yesterday's video. But tonight we are. So, moving forward, there's really no high probable trade here. All right. It does look like there is some more selling pressure coming back into this market. However, after you get a liquidity purge like this, you can see that we not only purged it once, we purged it twice for a deeper sweep. Now, if these lower sellers, or if these sellers at a lower price were bought into, I do expect this thing to pop up out of this area. But if the sellers are still more aggressive than the buyers, then obviously we're going to head lower. Now, if I go into a weekly chart, you can see that there is a weekly market structure level right here. All right, so if you look at this market structure right here at 1.7469, you can see that currently it is holding price on a weekly closing basis. Now, if this weekly closes below, next week I want to see continuation. However, if this week closes below and next week we get a big strong bullish push up out of there, then this will essentially be a weekly false breakout. So it's just something to look for coming on, or it's just something to look for in the future, as this trade was looked at and discussed on the day that I took the trade, and our targets have been hit. So really there's nothing to do here until it susses out its direction. All right, so moving on. Pound dollar. All right, so obviously we're in an uptrend, and obviously I say to never, ever, ever sell in an uptrend. I say do what I say, not what I do. All right? No, there's a reason for it, and I'm going to go over it. All right, as you can see, these market structure levels are all banged up right now, so let's just get rid of them and we'll start fresh, because I actually know what I'm looking at here. You can see that we are trading in this range. All right. Now I'm going to mark this level as the green line because that's what I was looking at this morning. I had these two areas pinned out on the chart because I wasn't exactly sure as to which direction the market was going to go. If we go look at a daily chart real quick, you will see this is today's candle. All right, guys. So just keep that in mind as I describe this. This is today's candle. What you see here is the new opening candle that happened 2 hours ago. So this right here is today's candle. This is yesterday's candle at the time at which I took the trade. All right. So essentially, we were trading with inside of this daily range. Okay, now we had this big sell-off the other day, all right, and then the next day was an inside day, meaning price traded within the high and within the low of this previous candle, makes it an inside range day, or aka inside day. So I was looking for this to break out, and it did. However, it closed as a doji. So coming into today, I was absolutely looking for either the high or the low of yesterday's candle to be taken out. Now, why was I bearish? All right. Remember, I'm a scalper at first and then a swing trader. So when I'm taking trades for you new subscribers, I'm looking for 40 to 75 pips. I'm looking for the daily range expansion. So even though the longer term trend is up, and I do expect this to catch a bid at some point, today I was only looking for that scalp to take out the low of day. And the reason I was looking at that to happen is because, as you can see, yesterday on this doji candle, we closed bearish. All right. Now we had a strong push up to take out the previous day's high, but we closed weak. We closed bearish. Then we had a strong push down, and then we closed right there on the day, but it was still a red day. Now, when I woke up this morning, I checked out the London session, what happened, what went on. And at 7 o'clock in the morning, this was still red. This daily candle, the daily was still red. So initially, my first instinct in that case is to look for trades to the downside, essentially, because at that point in time, at that specific point in time, since the candle is red, and we were still trading with inside of this previous day's range, that told me that at that time, it's important that you understand at that time, sellers were in control of the market. All right. So I was essentially targeting this low here at 1.35387. Okay. So let's go down into the smaller time frame charts. Oh my word. Bitcoin 40K. It's almost hard to focus on Forex when Bitcoin's running amok all over all the short sellers. That's all right. We will focus because there are opportunities inside of this market every single day. You just got to know where to look. All right. So here we were this morning. All right. At 6 o'clock in the morning, sellers were in control of the market, and we were still trading within yesterday's range. And then after we made another low and closed below this market structure, we had a strong bullish push up out of that area. Now, I was not convinced. Why was I not convinced? Because even though we made this strong push out of the area, at this point in time, it was still a red candle on the daily. Now, it also is important, guys, that you understand, just because if you're trading the New York session and the candle is red, that doesn't mean go short all the time. Like everything in trading, this doesn't work every single time. Because since, excuse me, since the markets trade on a day-to-day basis, new orders coming in every second of the day, anything can change. So sellers can have, through the Asian session and the London session, sellers can have control, and then all of a sudden in the New York session, the bulls catch control. So don't just think that going into every day from now on, all you got to do is look at the daily and see what it is. But it can help with your bias if you are searching out a trade. And you heard it here first on Trade Talk. Now, so with that being said, I was bearish on this pair. All right. I'm going to go down to a 1 minute chart real quick, just so that way I can mark out the level that I was looking at. All right. Now that we're in a 1 minute, I'm going to show you this candle here, this last bullish up closing candle on a 1 minute time frame. You can see as price traded away from that, obviously, it kept trading away, right? Now, as price was moving up, I was watching all of them. All right, I wasn't just watching this one. I had this one marked out because when it made a high and pushed away, it slowly rotated up and then pushed out. So once that happened, and then we started closing lower highs and lower lows on a 1 minute chart, I marked out this 1 minute candle because it's the last 1 minute closing candle that closed bullish. And since bears were in control, I was watching that area. Now, as you can see, we pushed up into that area and immediately rejected. Okay, so let me go ahead and pull up my thing. Oh, let me get back off this and go back into a 5 minute candle since we have that line outlined. Up here we are, right here. All right, that level is 1.36130. Now, I got short on this push up. All right, I just had a limit order set in there and I got triggered. I was actually not paying attention to it because, like I said, Bitcoin was absolutely amazing today. So I was actually watching the Bitcoin, but I did get triggered into the trade. So let's go look at the picture. All right, as you can see, my order was filled at 1.36117, and my stop loss was at 1.36172. It was just over the high of this candle. Now, as you can see right here, I was targeting the low of day. All right, the low of day was right here. Remember, I got short on this push. So the low of day was right there. That's why my target is right there. And that's at 1.35599. All right. And if you could see right there, that was a 9.35% trade. 9-to-1 risk to reward. Hence why I like scalping these markets. You couldn't do that on a swing trade. It would take a month and a half to get a 9-to-1 risk to reward. So I look for it on an intraday basis. But trades do not always work out this perfectly. I mean, this thing, just as soon as it tapped that level, it was see ya. It really didn't even give you another chance to enter. You could have entered here. You know what I mean? But it didn't really give a nice entry. It might have on a 1 minute, but on the 5 minute, didn't really give a nice entry. And then it just traded away. Now, this red line was my target. So on this doji candle right here, it took me out of the trade. I then moved my stop to break even. Remember, my stop was just above the high of this candle here. Moved my stop to break even, and I am still short this pair. So, if you watched my How to Grow a Small Account video, I said I was going to try to double my account in 38 days. In this week, I am up roughly 13%. So, week one of the try to double my account in 38 days is completed, and I'm up 13%. So, I am not going to take any more trades on the small account. I will, however, look to trade for the rest of the week on my main account. All right, so moving forward, Euro Yen. Now, if you can remember on Sunday's video, I said this could be a bear trap. Remember? All right, that's exactly what we got. This thing pushed up and then fooled the bulls and then came right back down and tested this market structure area here. This last down closing candle on an 8-hour time frame. Wick, no closes below that. And then see ya. Now, if you're following CTM, the CTM method is let price find support, which you clearly did here. Now, if you would have entered here, that would have been a very big range for your stop, because your stop would have had to go under low. Your entry would have been way up here. That would have been a massive a massive range for your risk to reward. You would essentially need thing to go all the way up to here just to make a 2-to-1 trade. But if you would have had patience and took this one, because you took out the high of this last bearish candle on an 8-hour time frame, that is a CTM entry for a swing trade, 100%. You took out the high of that candle, stopped below this low, and if you would have took it on based on the CTM entry, aiming for this high, because we were, remember, go look at the video if you don't remember, we were aiming for the liquidity above this high, plus this thing's been range bound. It was bullish coming into the range, so we looked for it to be bullish going out of the range. And I was actually bummed out last week because it didn't break out. It actually kind of gave us a false breakout signal. But I said, watch for this area to hold support because this could be a bear trap. It's exactly what it was. We have hit our target. Okay? That is beautiful. Now, if you took that CTM trade, the swing trade, if you took that CTM swing trade, you would be well above 2-to-1 risk to reward right now. So, I just want to say, moving forward on this thing. Now, I had a new trader in the CTN chat room tell me, yeah, Heath, there's a trend line coming in there. And I'm not going to poo-poo on trend line traders, guys. Jordan uses them, but he uses them first, and not first. First, where's the trend going? Is the trend up or down? That's number one in the CTM entry method. Number two, support, resistance with the help. Number three, with the help of trend lines. All right? And the way Jordan does his trend lines are a little different than the way I do mine. I peg my trend lines from high to high, all right? Just because it's simpler with the magnet tool to just hover price over it, bing, bing, and there's your trend line. We're well away from that. Now, trend lines from the untrained eye, from a new trader, are very subjective. And this is why I trade the way I trade. Once again, I am not poo-pooing on trend line trading strategies, okay, guys? I'm not doing that. I respect every kind of trader. So if we anchor from the candle body to the candle body, I'm still not getting any price or any trend lines near that price. So I'm not exactly sure what trend line he was talking about. Maybe this one. All right, that's the one he likes. Right there. Okay, perfect. Now, you can see price did trade up into that trend line last month and rejected. So I'm almost 100% sure retail traders are looking to go short here, right? You got trend line resistance coming into play. Plus you have this high here as being marked out as resistance. So yep, price trades back up into that. You get short. Not me and not anybody that learns my strategy. We are targeting you people. You people that like to get short on these trend lines, just ram right off the rip. Yeah, we're going to smoke your stops because that's how I trade. I was targeting this high here, right? We have taken that out and we have closed an 8-hour candle above the high and above this trend line, which means moving forward, you can look for breakout, retest, resumption, swing trades, all right? If you're just a swing trader, you don't have to scout this. You can look for support to hold. Where would I look for support to hold? I would look for support to hold. Get rid of this line. Let me change it back to white. I would look for support to hold at 127.014. All right? As long as you're closing 8-hour candles or daily candles above 127.014, it is okay to look to enter this thing long. Aiming for, I don't know, we'll have to go back into a weekly at least probably to find another target. Did we purge that liquidity? No, we did not. Awesome. We have turned around before the liquidity of this high back on February 25th of 2019 was put in. We traded up into that, but we did not take it out. There is a little bit of white space in there, meaning retail has gotten short here, thinking that this is going to turn around, and it probably will. But we're going to look for it to find lower high support, guys. All right? So that's all I got for you guys tonight. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell notification, guys. It really helps the channel. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comment section below. If you have an asset, crypto, stocks, or Forex that you want me to take a look at, make sure you leave it down in the comment section below. And also, please give me a time frame as to which you are looking for, and I will analyze that pair for you or that stock or whatever. So with all that said, guys, happy trading.